Hey guys, my name is Mrs. West and I am a teacher here at Impact. I am an English teacher and teach 1301, 1302 for Lee College as well. I am in Kenya right now on a mission trip with my church and my daughters, and so I couldn't be with you today, but I am going to try to get you through the writing portion of the accuplacer. I'm going to talk fast, so if you want to get out a piece of paper and jot these things down so that you can go back over them in a little bit. All right. First and foremost, most important, read the prompt thoroughly, okay? It may say anything about what is your view on who knows what, whatever controversial thing going on right now, or it may say describe your favorite summer vacation. Could be anything like that. You're not going to all have the same one. It will be randomly chosen by the computer. The computer chooses, the computer grades this. It doesn't have emotion, and so you need to remember things like that. A computer is grading it, so technique, technique, technique. That's what's important. Answer the prompt in your answer, all right? The computer knows the prompt, but still, re-answer it in your question. That's important, okay? 650 words. It's going to tell you, I think, 400 words or more. 650 is a pretty safe essay. If you do under like 500, it has to be the perfect essay, free from any mechanical errors, just answering the prompt, excellent, wise, everything. Okay, so if you want to try your hardest to give 6 or higher, I would say shoot for 650 words. You don't want to just ramble on, so no less than 500. Do not submit with under 500 words. Okay, a computer's grading your paper or your essay, so word choice is important. It needs to be spelled correctly. You cannot use Word document, so use words that you know how to spell. The more intelligent the word, the computer's going to, give you kudos points for those. All right. Do not use repetitive words. Do not go around and say people, 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 the people, the people. Alternative, humans, Americans, Jane and Paula. Okay? Use alternative words. Otherwise, the computer's going to highlight people when you used it 15 times, and it's going to be like, this person, this female, male, it doesn't know another word. This is the only word in their vocabulary, and that's not a plus, that's a minus. Okay, things. What are things? Can we have these things? Look, okay, markers, billboards. Tell the computer what the things are that you're talking about. Things is just kind of generic word. All right, so you want to watch that. Also, word choice. If you're using the word because, do not use a comma with the word because, okay? The computer's going to be like, oh, nope, negative. All right, so no comma with the word because. To go along with word choice, pronouns. All right? Pronouns, excellent thing to use. However, you need to make sure you've labeled the noun or the proper noun before you start using pronouns. You just can't throw out there, she went to the store, because the computer's going to highlight it and like, who's she? Okay, well, Sally went to the store. Then you can start, and she bought milk. Simple enough, but sometimes we don't think about these things. So you need to think about your word choice. Also, you have to remember to keep your pronouns plural or singular. If I'm talking about people, then this is more than one, and then that's they, them. Okay, but if I am just talking about Sally, she is she. Okay? All right, so you have to remember, try to keep your pronouns plural and singular. Okay, another important thing, because the computer is grading it, is your types of sentences that you're going to use. You need to use a variety of sentences, like simple, compound, and complex. Okay, the computer will again be like, happy, if the computer could be happy, because you used a variety of sentences. Example of a simple sentence is, Jake is traveling to Kenya. Okay, it has has the subject, it has the verb, it's telling where he's going. This is complete thought. This is a simple sentence. If all else fails and you're like, I just cannot do compound, complex, do simple sentences. Do them well, okay? Do simple sentences. So compound, that means I'm combining two complete sentences with a comma and a conjunction. Okay, so Jake is traveling to Kenya and his plane is on time. Okay? Two sentences, two complete sentences combined with a comma and a conjunction. Another conjunction are or, for, nor, but, okay, stuff like that. Those are conjunctions. Complex sentences are two complete thoughts, sentences, connected together with a semicolon. Has to be relevant. They have to relate together. Jake is traveling to Kenya. His plane is on time. This is all about his travel to Kenya. I cannot say Jake is traveling to Kenya. The dog is eating a bone. Those things, they do not relate together. You cannot use a semicolon there. All right, so that's simple enough. So try to use some simple, some compound, some complex. I would say maybe try to use 3 or 4 compound, maybe 3 or 4 complex, just scattered out in your piece. That will help you greatly when the computer starts grading it. Okay, refer to, when you're answering your essay prompt, refer to things in history, if you can, if it's relevant. So historical events, or maybe you can relate to something in politics. Could be something from the Bible, maybe something biblical. Personal we'll get to in just a second. You know, there's other things that you can relate to. But let's say if it did say about the summer vacation, I went to Garner State Park this summer. One of my favorite places to go. And if I was talking about that in my essay, how I've gone there for 39 years, I can then bring a historical element to it and tell you that the CCC during the Great Depression actually built Garner State Park and built the cabins that I stayed in by hand. It's hand carved. I can bring a historical element to my essay. That's a plus when it comes to computer. Okay, personal. Personal is great because like I'm talking about my trip in the summer. Personal, it just needs to be deep, okay? It needs to be thoughtful, all right? It not a surface skimmer. I mean, thought out, think it through. You know, I'm not just gonna, I went to Garner, we floated in the river. You know, I'm gonna talk about the things that make Garner important. The scenery, the mountains, the CCC. I mean, that gave people jobs. Things that are important, things that are relevant. Okay, transitional words such as however, first, although, however is kind of overused. However, therefore is my favorite. I love therefore. These are words that keep your piece going. Okay, I talk about roadblocks. If you're reading a book and you're in it, you know, PETA is out there in the wilderness and Katniss comes around and da-da-da-da. If you hit a roadblock in the middle of that action and it starts talking about doves flying around or something that is, it just doesn't even like kind of fit, you need a transitional words to like, when they were out there and they were in the wilderness, and then although they were in this game, he started thinking about doves and flying. See, it keeps it flowing. You're not going to come to a roadblock in the middle of this exciting part or piece. So this is what you need in your piece as well. You need transitional words. However, although, oh look, however's twice. You think I love that word. You know, stuff like that, okay? Finally, transitional words, I'm wrapping it up. Finally, conclude with this. Wrap up your piece. Tie it in a nice little bow. You know, tell the reader that this is a recap. A recap in like a baseball game would give the highlights, the major events. All right, you know, so-and-so so-and-so hit a home run, and they scored 7 runs, and they're going to go to the World Series, yay! Recapped. I tied it up in my bow. I left it here for the reader. This is the end. You can start it with a wonderful transitional word, finally, and conclude it up. All right, so I know I had to go over this fast, but Miss Raimundo told me 10 minutes. So, again, if you jotted this down, go in there and use that scratch paper. It is very important that you use it. Okay, you can write an outline on it. You can do a rough draft on it. You can take notes on it. It is real important. One thing else I didn't tell you about is the insertion key. The insertion key on your keyboard is right here. If for some reason you were going to go back and try to type something in and it starts erasing the words, your insertion key on your keyboard needs to be pressed down. Hey, all else fails, raise your hand. Ask questions with the people, the testing people. They will help you. I look forward to seeing you in August. I hope this helps. Best of luck.